So one of my best friends, she's not here today. She was human trafficked by Naomi Campbell. And Naomi is also Diddy's the godmother. So she started meeting with all these famous people, and they connected her with certain people. And then all of a sudden she's at these parties, and I see she's doing drugs and getting out of control. And eventually I had to start rescuing her from parties, and then a few of the times I had to rescue her from Naomi Campbell's apartment.
Allie Carter just went all the way in on Naomi Campbell, seriously calling her out and dropping claims people say have never been seen before about what allegedly goes down on that private island. Folks have been side-eyeing that place for years now, mostly because of the strange, almost eerie symbolism tied to it, plus Naomi's long list of connections to some very controversial figures. From names like Diddy, Epstein, and Harvey Weinstein, to powerful political figures in Africa, and even talk of a questionable charity setup. The stories keep stacking up. Some people claim there were alleged schemes where women from Africa were promised modeling opportunities in Europe, only to end up in troubling situations for years, which, if true, would be deeply disturbing. Allie Carter has built a reputation for speaking out loud about the industry, not just about unfair treatment, but also about what she described as hidden rituals, symbols, and secret practices powerful elites supposedly use to stay on top. She keeps pointing at patterns and saying there's more going on behind the scenes than what the public gets to see. For decades, Hollywood has been surrounded by wild theories, everything from secret deals, mass parties, elite groups like the Illuminati, to strange gatherings like Bohemian Grove, and even talk about energy manipulation and other dark ideas.
Me in containers with his shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies. They were 6 years old. And I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move.
It sounds extreme, but these stories have stayed alive for a reason, and people keep connecting dots. There's even that film Eyes Wide Shut, which many believe wasn't just imagination, but possibly a glimpse into a hidden reality. And then there's Naomi Campbell's private island, reportedly designed in the shape of the Eye of Horus, which some say isn't just for looks. You see, it's not just an aesthetic choice. It's what people believe it represents that keeps raising eyebrows. It all traces back to a violent ancient myth where Horus loses his eye in a brutal clash with Set, only for it to be slowly rebuilt piece by piece. That story turns the Eye of Horus into a symbol of power rising after chaos and destruction. So when something like that becomes the blueprint for an entire island, people aren't just seeing decoration. They're seeing a message tied to dominance, watchfulness, and control in a world already fixated on power and secrecy. Some believe using a symbol like that connects to deeper ideas about rituals and so-called energy practices. And that's why attention around Naomi has been heating up lately. Reports and discussions online keep pointing to her associations with several controversial figures, raising more questions than answers as time goes on. Her name also appeared in publicly discussed Epstein-related documents, which immediately got people talking. According to records released and widely reported on, Naomi Campbell was listed in Epstein's flight logs with entries showing multiple trips in the early 2000s. There were also mentions tying her name to his private island, which has long been surrounded by intense scrutiny and speculation.
Direct character assassination. I've always said that I'm not a saint, that I am a work in progress, but I will not be held hostage by my past. I was introduced to him on my 31st birthday by my ex-boyfriend Flavio. He was always front and center at Victoria's Secret shows.
Did you suspect what he was doing?
No. And what he's done is indefensible. And when I heard of what he'd done, it sickened me to my stomach, just like everybody else. Because I've had my fair share of predators, and thank God that I had good people around me that protected me from this. I mean, right now I stand with the victims. They're scarred for life.
One report claimed she took 5 flights on the Lolita Express between 2001 and 2003, including routes connected to the U.S. Virgin Islands, where Epstein owned property known for high-profile gatherings. Some of those flights were also said to be heading toward areas like Sao Paulo in Brazil, adding even more layers to the story. Jeffrey Epstein was also known to appear regularly at major fashion events like Victoria's Secret shows, and the two were reportedly seen in the same circles more than once. Naomi's account, however, is that she didn't know who Epstein was at the time, saying her ex-boyfriend, Flavio Briatore, introduced them at her 31st birthday party back in 2001. And honestly, a lot of people weren't shocked to hear her deny everything, because that's become her pattern whenever her name gets linked to controversial figures. Every time questions pop up about her being around certain powerful men, she shuts it down and claims she had no idea what was going on. Critics say she stays calm in interviews and sticks to her story, even when people point to records or reports that seem to suggest otherwise. She's repeatedly said she knew nothing about what those men were involved in, even though she often ended up in the same circles as them. The same kind of response came up when her connection to Harvey Weinstein was questioned, with her firmly denying any awareness of his actions. When it comes to Epstein, she also pushed back against any claims, saying she didn't know about his activities. But at the same time, some of the released emails mentioned her name in connection with plans and communication, which only made the situation look more complicated and kept people talking. Some online discussions even go as far as speculating about financial ties, though none of that has been clearly confirmed. Still, those rumors continue to spread and add more tension to the situation.
So one of my best friends, she's not here today. She was human trafficked by Naomi Campbell. And Naomi is also Diddy's the godmother. So she started meeting with all these famous people, and they connected her with certain people. And then all of a sudden she's at these parties, and I see she's doing drugs and getting out of control. And eventually I had to start rescuing her from parties. And then a few of the time.
On top of that, old videos have resurfaced showing her promoting modeling opportunities to women, which has now sparked new questions. People have pointed out that some of those women were never publicly seen in major modeling spaces afterward, leading to more speculation about what really happened. There are also clips of her charity work in Kenya that are now being re-examined, with viewers looking at them in a completely different light. Keep in mind, Allie Carter has repeatedly claimed there are actual tapes that could back up everything she's been saying, at least according to her. She insists there's evidence out there, including material she believes connects directly to Naomi as well. Where exactly this information comes from hasn't been clearly verified, but that hasn't stopped people from paying close attention. According to Allie, this ties into how Naomi ended up with that massive 25-bedroom island property designed around the Eye of Horus. Reports say it was gifted to her by her ex-boyfriend, Russian billionaire Vladislav Doronin, for her 41st birthday, which only adds more intrigue to the story. That island keeps getting mentioned in discussions linked to Epstein, with some people alleging it may have been connected to various questionable activities. These claims remain unproven, but they continue to circulate online and keep the spotlight firmly on Naomi and her connections. Allie also suggests that the reason her voice hasn't been completely silenced is because of these supposed tapes. At the same time, it's important to note that none of these allegations have been officially confirmed, even though they continue to gain attention. She has also claimed she had knowledge about what was happening around Epstein long before official documents were released, which is part of why some people take her statements seriously today. In one of her more alarming claims, she even said she was sent there as a minor, which makes the situation sound even more serious and complicated. And right now, the pressure and public scrutiny around Naomi just keeps building. Recently, a video started making rounds online showing Kenyan-American influencer Elsa Majimbo speaking out about her experience with Naomi. In the clip, Elsa claims Naomi brought her into her circle and allegedly kept trying to link her up with wealthy, much older men. Once Elsa says she realized what was going on, she made it clear she wanted no part in it at all. According to Elsa, that decision didn't go over well, and she believes it may have affected her opportunities afterward. These claims haven't been officially confirmed, but they've definitely sparked conversation and raised eyebrows across social media. It's also important to note Elsa was very young at the time, just 19 and still building her career. Some viewers have even gone as far as analyzing her social media presence.
I had to rescue her from Naomi Campbell's apartment, sleep over, and then I would pick her up and bring her to her apartment because she was so high on.
What kind of she doing?
Everything. She had they provide the drug for you. So she would open her purse and it would just be everything, whatever you wanted. It was like a pharmacy.
Who would open the purse?
Oh, she would. Oh, she's like, what do you need, Babs? Do you need anything? I would say, I don't do anything. Oh, come on, just smoke a joint with me. I'm like, I'm not smoking anything. I didn't trust her anymore.
Saying she seemed different after that period, though that kind of interpretation is subjective and hard to prove. And beyond all of this, Naomi's name has come up in other serious situations over the years as well. Back in 2010, she was called to testify in a case involving former Liberian President Charles Taylor after reports surfaced that she had received so-called blood diamonds during a visit to Nelson Mandela's residence in South Africa. For context, Charles Taylor was arrested in 2006 and later faced charges related to supporting rebel groups during Sierra Leone's civil war, which lasted from 1991 to 2002. That conflict was marked by extreme violence against civilians, making the entire situation deeply serious and widely condemned. The diamonds that were reportedly given to Naomi were said to be part of the resources Charles Taylor had access to during that violent period. When the story first came out, Naomi denied everything and even walked out of an interview when questioned about it, which only made things more intense. But later, when she was called to testify in court, her story shifted, and she admitted that she did receive diamonds. She explained they were brought to her late at night by two men she claimed she didn't recognize, showing up unexpectedly at her door. She also said she didn't keep them and instead passed them along to charity. That explanation didn't convince everyone, though. Doubts started growing, especially after statements from people who were also on that trip. Her former assistant, Carol White, and actress Mia Farrow both gave accounts suggesting Naomi was aware of where the diamonds came from and didn't question it at the time. According to Carol, Naomi was very engaged with Charles Taylor during that visit, and when the diamonds arrived, she appeared excited and even showed them off. These accounts directly challenged Naomi's version of events and added more tension to the situation. With all these conflicting stories, people have drawn their own conclusions, with critics arguing that the pursuit of wealth and status may have played a role in these choices. Whether or not any further action will ever be taken is still unclear. But one thing is certain, her name continues to stay surrounded by controversy and speculation. And with all of this stacking up, people are starting to look at the bigger picture and connect dots that didn't seem obvious before.
Roads that people take pride in sticking bars of children. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs with them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang upside down in satanic ritual meetings, and they literally hang them. Literally, by metal prongs, they hang them to get dripping out of them, and people go up under and like you're under a rainfall to take their blood.
It's not just one situation or one headline anymore. It's a pattern that keeps coming back in different ways, with the same names, the same circles, and the same kind of power dynamics showing up again and again. A lot of critics are now questioning how someone can be linked to so many controversial moments over the years and still move freely in elite spaces without serious consequences. They're pointing at the fashion world, the billionaire circles, and those private invite-only events, saying this is where influence really protects people. At the same time, supporters argue that being in high-profile environments naturally puts celebrities around powerful and sometimes problematic individuals, and that doesn't automatically mean involvement. Still, the repeated associations and resurfacing stories are making it harder for the public to ignore everything completely. What's really keeping this conversation alive is how social media keeps digging things back up. Old clips, interviews, and documents keep resurfacing, and every time they do, more people start asking questions and re-examining what they thought they knew. It's like nothing ever fully disappears anymore, and every past moment can come back stronger. Right now, the situation feels far from settled. Between ongoing speculation, resurfaced claims, and conflicting accounts, the spotlight on Naomi isn't fading anytime soon. If anything, it's getting brighter, and more people are watching closely to see what comes out next. And now, people are starting to wonder who else might get pulled into all of this as more attention builds. Because situations like this rarely stay focused on just one person for long, especially when powerful networks and long histories are involved. Names, connections, and old associations have a way of resurfacing when the spotlight gets this intense. And there's also growing pressure from the public for more transparency. People aren't just accepting surface-level explanations anymore. They want clear answers, timelines, and accountability where it's due. The days of quietly moving past controversies without questions are starting to fade, especially with everything being documented and shared online. At the same time, media outlets and online communities are digging deeper into past events, piecing together timelines and comparing different accounts. Every interview, every statement, and every appearance is being re-examined, and even small details are being picked apart for inconsistencies. It's creating a situation where nothing goes unnoticed anymore. Still, it's important to separate confirmed facts from speculation, because not every claim circulating online has been proven. While some details are backed by records or testimony, others are based on interpretation or secondhand information, which makes the full picture harder to pin down. One thing is clear, though, the conversation isn't slowing down. With more eyes watching and more voices speaking out, this situation keeps evolving, and people are waiting to see whether any new information will finally bring clarity or just add even more layers to the story. And at this point, the real question people keep asking is how much of this will actually lead to real consequences. Because history has shown that when power, money, and influence are involved, things don't always play out the way the public expects. A lot of these stories make noise for a while, then suddenly go quiet without clear answers. Some are starting to believe that the truth only comes out in pieces, slowly over time, instead of all at once. One document here, one testimony there, one resurfaced clip later, and before you know it, a much bigger picture starts forming. That's exactly why people are watching closely now, waiting to see what else might come to light. Others, though, are pushing back and saying it's important not to jump to conclusions without solid proof. Just because someone's name shows up in multiple situations doesn't automatically confirm wrongdoing, and that's where the line between suspicion and fact becomes very important. Still, the intensity around Naomi's name isn't fading. If anything, it's turning into one of those stories that sticks around, growing layer by layer as more discussions happen and more details get revisited. It's no longer just about one allegation or one moment. It's about a long timeline that people are now re-examining from a completely different angle. And with that kind of attention, one thing is certain: this story isn't disappearing anytime soon, and the spotlight is only getting hotter from here. As expected, people online had a lot to say, and some reactions were intense. One person wrote, "I remember hearing about Naomi Campbell 15 years ago. I would consider her a trap for the procurer of children. She's no innocent person or victim, whatever. She's as bad, if not as bad, as Ghislaine Maxwell. They're all monsters, and somebody ought to start holding these people accountable before the normal person just snaps and starts holding them accountable." That kind of comment shows just how strongly some people feel about everything coming out. Another person said, "She knows all about what was happening. She has been proven to be a liar, and she should be charged for any crime she committed just like anyone else." Again, these are opinions being shared online, but they highlight how much public trust has been shaken. Now the big question is, what do you think about Naomi Campbell being called out by Allie Carter? And do you believe any real investigation could happen soon? Is this just more internet speculation? Or is there something deeper that still hasn't fully come to light? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is getting louder by the day. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Plus, click to check out another messy story you don't want to miss.